Hello, welcome back, everyone. I hope you all are having a fantastic day. But we are playing Jeskai Lessons. I've been playing Apex Legends, so apparently I'm blending those together. We're playing Jeskai Legends. That's what we're saying it is. But we are playing the Lessons stack, and this stack feels absolutely bonkers, and it feels so good to play, weirdly, even though the Lessons kind of have a big negative connotation on them right now because of how well they were doing and Izzit's been so dominant. But I think one of the main things to take away from this stack, if you're looking for a really strong kind of budget-based stack outside of obviously our mana base, that's going to be the hard thing on Arena. No matter what you do, the mana base is always going to be kind of expensive, but thankfully the lands are in standard for a very long time, so you can feel a lot more comfortable about getting those, especially the slow lands from old Innistrad. But maybe not old Innistrad, the newer-ish Innistrad. But this is all commons, and these are all uncommons. You have 5 mythics in total, and then obviously there is a sideboard to go along with it if you want to be playing a best of 3. But today we run really, really well, and we have a lot of hard-fought games that really show off why this deck can be really dominant and honestly be really fun to play. So we're going to go ahead and just dive into the games. Going first is their hand. It's a pretty fantastic hand. We'll keep. We get to start off with a Grand that kind of requires to be answered immediately. If it's not answered, it obviously gives us a ton of value. And weirdly, we have the protection spell for it. Although, I mean, I think we have to cook this thing, right? Although, like, it'll quench it probably could have been the card to hold. We'll do there. If I can attack again and turn this online, it'd be great. The card I was worried about is like a shelter. Sure. Cast this first before we get too crazy. Get rid of a stock up. We're going to have a draw 3 here, so it's not like we need to do much else. We missed a land there, which is kind of brutal. Well, I mean, we hit a land, but we miss an untapped land to put 3 cards in our hand. So, a little on the struggle bus right now. If we do get the untap with Grand, obviously everything is running really, really well. But we only have a turn or 2 to kind of get there. Also, answering this, another reason we answer this is it does have a graveyard exile effect on it. At the beginning of your second main phase, if it's tapped, exile up to 1 target card, which obviously makes these worse. They're going pretty aggressive here. Shelter is not on the table anymore. They could have a protection spell now, which maybe this pause. Let's start off with the draw 3. Okay. Update, team. This could get really bad. We're going to go here, and we're going to try to combust this vendor. If they... Ooh, it actually stuck. So we know they don't have protection in hand, but they kept one top. So let's just pop both these creatures here. And then... get rid of this. We want the steam vents next turn. Hopefully on top was the protection card, so they don't have value off of it, like maybe they were keeping it for the turn. 4 mana and nothing to do with it. Our Grand went unanswered for too long, and now everything being cheaper is obviously going to overrun this game. I mean, next turn we have 1 mana, discard, draw 2. We have 2 mana stock up. We play land. We're getting so close to these revelations. It's going to completely take over the game. But yeah, we'll take it. Another deck with 4 revelations, opening with 1 in every opener, which is fine with me. We'll keep. We have abandoned. We have 3 mana. We don't have a red for the tablet, so that is kind of a problem, but hopefully we're okay. They maul once. They show me, is it sleeves? They're actually really sweet looking. I like them a lot. Well, fountain tapped. Kind of shows that we're on control. They're on respectable. Go here. We're probably going to do one of these, bending maybe a land. Okay. Definitely for this. You might think we're Flash until I reveal this, unfortunately. Get rid of this land. Okay, sweet. And I believe I can firebending lessen this without too much of a problem. And we'll pass. We don't want to let them target. We don't want to let them allow... We don't want to allow an opportunity for them to cast a card that manifests a 2/2. That would just be really bad value for us. We do have to worry a little about a spell snare. A little. This is a desperation play, in my opinion. Wait. Could be spell snare here. See a stick. Or, again, it's maybe like a fling or something like that. Not a fling. A card. Grand. Yes. If they try to answer Grand, we immediately answer their dude. We're gonna do it on their turn to force interaction. Grand can probably also block here, just because we have a backup one. There's no reason to kind of allow ourselves to get sniped. They don't shock that in, which leaves me to believe that their turn is way less impressive. Block. I will attempt the technique, though. I do have 2 mana for it, so a spell pierce doesn't get me. And it is 2 mana, so a spell snare does, which is why a lot of people are playing spell snare over spell pierce. It's just the option between paying 2 and the hard counter spell, especially in best of 1, is a bit weird. Because when you get to this kind of late game, right? Okay. They have to grow it one more time here. And remember, it's... Ooh, that gives it trample. Weirdly enough, I do answer it, though. It does deal 4 damage to me. Okay. Sure. A big commitment from them. Sets me to 12. 1 card in hand. No answer there. Grand. The stock up. Answer here. Ooh, no, but a good card. We have land. I do need 1 more for this, but with accumulative wisdom, you would assume we're probably going to hit another one here. I'm going to play to another one. And with 1 card in hand, we're just going to answer this now. And we did hit a land, and Revelation will be online, especially if my Grand lives. So at 11 with 2 cards in hand, we feel really, really confident, especially the fact that we're going to go Revelation into Revelation. For the life gain that this provides, gaining 4 life, making dudes, and drawing extra cards is absolutely over. Especially because, weirdly enough, Grand reduces everything. So we're actually able to play our tablet, which is quite funny. We're able to just like tap out for the tablet, get maybe a little bit of value, play our land, and then Revelation after on their turn, which is really, really good. It is a little... Oh, double maul from them. Okay, I feel way more confident, but I do feel like it's obviously going to be aggro here, though. So shocking does suck a bit, but I'm definitely getting my hand online. The second maul was instantaneous. Authority of the Councils. Okay, I don't really care to shock now. Could be artifacts. Little Quincy will be an important card here. Go here. Attack. I have a weird feeling Combustion Technique's not going to be that good, so we're going to let it go here. And with our multitude of cards to cast on their turn. Second Authority of the Councils is fine with me. I'm never threatening over that card. And I'll take out a... Great Fountain? Okay. You just gotta assume with how many cards we're drawing that we'll be fine. Combat. 1. Get rid of a Combustion. Now we have a draw 3 available. And our stock ups are available. We can do pretty much everything on their turn, so we might as well shock here. If we can get to this revelation before they get going, it'll obviously be huge. Whenever you draw your first second card each turn, put... Okay. We have a combustion technique for this, so I'm not worried about that. Here. We've already used 2, so I can respect them thinking we weren't going to have it. It's also why we can be aggressive about our land discards, by the way, if you're curious. Combat. 1. If I stock up, we have 6 cards. I can probably just wait here, and holding up 2 quenches is good. We're slowly getting there with this, plus the damage they're taking off their own starting towns. Quench. This might be a rage scoop here. No, they're sticking it out. I respect it. I definitely respect that. Stock up. We're looking for those, actually, funnily enough. Okay. I kind of figured we were just done after they missed land drops on a multi 5, but multi 5s on Arena, you're basically losing. I almost keep any 6, at least in best of 1 on Arena. In best of 3, you can always kind of multi 5 because a lot of times your opponent multi 6. But here on a multi 5, you just see the problem, right? They have authorities that they were hoping were good. They just weren't. We're slowly doing this. This revelation, we can put one of the authorities back in their hand and shoot them for 4, and that gives them less life. We equal it out immediately, and with a Grand online, we have stock up, another tablet. Like, we're just going crazy to get our prowess up and finish the game. So, easy win. We'll take it. Okay. We can definitely keep this, right? We have a turbo-like hand. We're on the draw, so it kind of comes down to the same thing. Authority of the Councils again. Not really a matchup that cares about authority all too much. So we're happy to see kind of a dead card go. But maybe it's just hard blue-white, which can definitely be a bit more frustrating. Stack. Blue-white, the technique's just got to go. Obviously, we want to fuel our lessons plan, so our Grand's online. Because again, Grand reduces everything, not just other cards. Ooh, 1 life. Really catered towards aggro, which seems a bit weird. No way. No way. So we figured out what they're on. If you haven't figured it out, I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about it. They're on blue-white life gain mill, if you needed to know. We can do this, and then this can be 1. So we'll just get rid of here. The only problem is how we catch up here. I don't really know. Here. We don't care if this gets countered. Discard a land. Sure. They'll counter this, though, if they have one. If they don't, it's a consult. At least we're guessing it's a consult. Yeah, I'll take my draw 3. Sweet. Go here. We really need this to hit a land. Obviously, we bend a land, but look how many cards we've drawn since then. So even if I don't hit a land, I'm still going to play a bit aggressive about it. We're 5 lands and 18 cards, about to look at 19. So the odds of hitting land are high. Three cards in the hand. I'm going to fight for this. I would prefer them not to draw that many. So hopefully this hits a land. Ooh, another tablet. A bit brutal. But let's use this. Get rid of this. Okay, we do hit lands here now. We can go land. And this is for a sorcery, so we can't use this. So let's cast stock up. Here and here. We're going to need revelations to kind of turbo the game. Same situation. We're about to draw 5, etc. We have 12 cards in our graveyard, though. Fair enough. Go tablet again. Alright, Ira doesn't really do much. Grab Gran, grab a land. Let's just play it now. We do have to be a little worried of this. The blue-white card that mills is the one that's like equal to their life total, and we have 32 cards. Half my library. Nice. I just need spells. At my library, I'm at 14. They didn't even play a creature, right? So this card's interesting. But I guess maybe they're trying to do it off this. These revelations are monstrous here. We do have to remember we don't have our counter spells anymore. These revelations do get to bounce the authority. Turn target spell or permanent to its owner's hand. So we cannot counter the activation of a monument. I thought at first this monument was a... At first I thought the monument was just the mirror breaker for them. I thought they were trying to use it against other control decks, which often is a good plan because your opponent just has a hard time beating it. I mean, I'm jamming for sure here. They're not typically a counterspell deck. They can be, but they're just not. Gain no life here. I don't want to cast anything on my turn. Or on their turn. I want to get the value here. I don't know if it's necessarily worth barreling for. Those cards aren't really good. I think I want to build up a revelation one more turn. It could do Fountain Port, of course. Gran might just not have to attack anymore, to be honest. You take one for that. Sure. Totally makes sense. Definitely want to do this. We have to be really careful. We're so low on cards. 2, 2, and then if they hit another land, they have it. Sure. So now we have the setup next turn. They're going to sack this for a draw. So the only thing I can think of that I lose to is the monument and another land, I guess, technically. Not a lot I can do about it. You know the rest. That's fine. That lets us know that they don't have that. Also, okay. I have a weird feeling they have a draw spell, like a one that makes me draw. Gran doesn't have to attack if we feel like the card advantage is going to suck, but sure. But we only really need to cast 1 or 2 spells here. Get all of our men out. I think... What about Aetherize? Is this going to be the call from the heavens that my opponent has an Aetherize in their hand? How gigabrained are we if this is it? Combat. I'm okay with drawing a card here off Gran. I can't really beat much else. Actually, I don't even need to attack with Gran. That's just a risk I don't even have to. They only block 1 and I can definitely cast 3 spells. I'm just thinking of like a forced draw here. They take 1. also to make a fish, they have to take one here. We could have also brought up one of these, but that's the Aetherized play I'm playing around. I needed Revelation up. Okay, we get there. Very nice. What a game. Yeah, Aetherize is 4 mana. Return all attacking creatures to your opponent's hand. And I believe it's legal in Standard. I could be wrong. It's such a weird card to have in the background. And thankfully, I actually picked up one of the cool arts for my Commander deck. So that's why I thought about it. So we get there. The other play was obviously to bring this up, but it costs 5 mana to do so. So it's also going to attack. It doesn't have vigilance. So we have 2, 3, 4, 5 vested in this. And then we only have 2 lands available, which doesn't allow us to put Aetherize back in their hand. And we obviously don't have a counterspell, and they would have had too much mana to pay for it anyway. So I just stopped playing around. It was better, and we get the win for it. So cool. Going first, I mean, Gran off the rip with removal and a stock up and everything. Yeah, we're latching. So many mulligans today. I feel like in best of one, I never really see mulligans. My opponents have done it multiple times. I've had a mull to 5, mull to 6. My opponent at least is mulling to 6 here. But I think they're on the same conclusion that I have, where if you kind of mull more than 6, you're kind of throwing. Not necessarily throwing in a bad way. It's just the way the game is built right now. Get rid of Gran here. Then play Steam Vents tapped. We could go Wisdom, but I think I just want to hold. Blue-white doesn't really reveal the whole story. Could be Control, obviously. Oh, it's Artifacts. Okay. This one might be a different game. I obviously know I got rid of my Gran, which maybe was a bad play, but I don't have Counterspell. Synthesizer might come in and absolutely trounce us, which would suck. I'll take this to maybe pick up the second piece. Hopefully they just don't have it. Oh, there's a repurposing bay, so they automatically have it. Go Gran. We go here, and then we pass. So this is a dead card. Maybe I was supposed to bend this. It just hedged towards the fact that it was going to be something like that. This is the hard card to beat. Just a Synthesizer is okay, but this is the one. To be fair, we do get to get rid of this now with an abandoned attachments. If they do nothing, Spring Loaded Trap, a card that I don't see a lot of the control deck or artifact decks playing very often. They play a lot of other ones. I mean, yeah, we're snapping that. Hard decision there. Do you take the guarantee or do you take the big role play? And I think if this resolved, you kind of have a open gate to do that. I actually don't even blame them there. We need a Revelation pretty soon, or we're kind of dead in the water, which sucks. Abandoned pitch 1. I think Shocking's fine here. Again, I can't really beat this. 2 mana, then they can play whatever. We can try to find the second. It'll quench it. I mean, I think we might as well. Creature's going to be way too big for a firebending lesson, so having the bigger one will be good. And if Gran's turned on and we can start getting a ton of card draw along with the Revelations, I feel like we're pretty okay. Ooh. Go here. And this card's dead. And we're looking for value here. Okay. Well, that might just do it anyway. A lot of mana here. We really need to stock up to be good. We're missing a Revelation. Then they can just grab a Synthesizer here, and I think it's just over, unfortunately. Being one to play here and losing this is kind of wild. Maybe the pitch of the Gran earlier was just bad. Sure. I know this is going to exile, but my hand's so catered away for it, and Gran's gone, so... Okay. Not expecting to rip another Gran, to be honest. I think we just have to take the negative value and go for the tablet. Okay. I'm so fine with that. Normally, you never want to play this if you're just going to miss your land. But they're stuck with this and this lander token because they went for a graveyard exile piece instead of a synthesizer. Now they can grab a 1-mana thing. They go Soul Guide Lantern. That's fine. If they're going to be solely focused on my graveyard, it's going to allow a card like this to pop off, and we'll be perfectly happy with how this game's going. Sure. Double Bay is okay with me. And we find a good-ish card. But I definitely can go Grand here, and then we can go Revelation on something important here. And the thing is, we just keep returning Synthesizer back to their hand whenever they go fetch one here. The thing is okay. Fine with that. What is the 2-drop that they grab? Probably... No. Really don't. Okay. That makes sense. Are we finally grabbing the synthesizer? Would assume so. Huh. This can kind of cascade into other revelations like Revelation tends to do. We can actually crawl out of this game pretty quickly because we can kind of bounce synthesizer and then bounce it again, and then we have enough prowess on the board to get really aggressive. They're not really a board wipe deck. They're kind of a snare exile style deck, as you can see here. So they're, well, I mean, I guess they play the one thing that absorbs all creatures, but that's okay. Wow, they focused another snare. That's actually kind of crazy, right? I'm definitely doing this. Ah, brutal. You hold. Pretty awesome. Combat. Another land is not good. I do think I want to kind of at least lean into my value a little. Okay. Three, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe not worth. I feel like this game's way different if they just... I lied to you. I totally lied to you. I want to cast this and see what I can do here. Why Grand's still up? Okay. Why do I feel like I've just had 4 lands in my hand the entire game? I mean, that bottom pile is a bit telling. We have a lot of cards in the bottom there. Holy. A lot of lands. Kind of a mistake not playing this earlier, because obviously I can be really aggressive about it now. I mean, yeah. Could potentially find a way here. The problem is they don't have artifacts to sack that doesn't cause them problems. Okay. What a weirdly played game. Not that they did it in a bad way. I'm just saying the cards that they've sequenced have just been so weird. They also have a lot of mana. It's just a weird game. Like, they have a fire crystal and no synthesizer. Ready to take this copy of target creature you control. Okay. I mean, we can win with just this. It really depends. Oh, wow, dude. It's just bad rips after bad rips. We even have We even have the second copy down here. Oh, man. Chances to draw land are really low. This is non-land permanent. They could play another split up, I guess. We do that to grow this because of how many artifacts they have. It might matter. Go ahead. This is where maybe we cost ourselves, because if we would have had this in play last turn, we could have prioritized doing that. But what 4-mana artifact are they going to play here? Or do they have another 4-mana artifact? I just doubt it. Also, another Revelation here would be sick. Revelation just wins us the game. We've only used one of our 4, I think. Yeah. I believe. If they have another spring-loaded trap, they could do that. Have another 4-mana artifact? That's mind-blowing to me. Like, genuinely, I'm a little shocked. This is just sack. Add a mana. Did that. Okay. Revelation, please. Or more lands. Holy, bro. Am I faded? Why do I feel like I'm hitting an unreasonable amount of lands? And it hits. Oh, that's so bad. It's so bad. We can potentially get there, though. I should have another Revelation. There's going to be a synthesizer. It's going to be a scry, make 2. They have a land in hand. It's not that bad. This is great turn this copy target. Sacrifice it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let them scry first then. Play land, activate this crystal. Snipe it. Okay. They have very little they can do here. I can't shock it in because they're at like 8 or 9 here. This is fine because we can just bounce their fire crystal when they go to combat. Sure, they gain 2, but hopefully on our draw 2 we're good. Solve all. Realistically, we need to bounce our fire crystal and then we need to hit them for 4. Solve. I'm a little scared. They activate their fire crystal again. They do. Bounce 4. And that's the lethal, baby. We find it. I think, yeah, because they only gained 2 here. And then here we can bounce this and shoot them for 4. Yes. Again, not blaming my opponent on this. This was a weird game. I think their hand just curved out. I think they played it really, really well. I just think it got really unfortunate for them. Let's just cast this. Nothing. Wow. Holy, that's a game of games right there. Weirdly enough, our combustion technique would be able to pop one of those even if they gained 2, and then we'd have enough on the prowess to get through. But wow, it's so weird because the argument could be like, oh, well, if I go for synthesizer, I could potentially lose. They went for the graveyard exile, which I think I had a little bit of bias based on what her hand was, because I saw my hand was really nothing I think that could benefit too well from it. So maybe in my mind I was like, I don't know why they did that. And obviously my card became good, I can remove it, and then I was just an idiot, just hard casted it and then drew the card to punish me for it. But it was a weird game. I really wish there was a situation I could see their hand so I could just understand how that pattern played out, because it just, these Repurposing Bay became such a weirdly bad card at a time, and I can definitely see why they're playing this if that happens to them quite frequently. I don't know. Artifacts is good, but sometimes it just plays out so weird, and you're just like, how am I not winning this game? Like, I would assume if I was in their shoe the whole time, I'm just like, they're doing nothing. How am I not winning this game? I had like 4 lands and a combustion technique in play, and they could not win from there. It was, I don't know. It's just really, really weird. But, I mean, I'll take the win regardless, obviously.